horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Well, that was an abrupt stop there, wasn't it?
And sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It usually happens abruptly, and I'm just like, okay, we're on.
Right? You gotta love technology, right? It is what it is. All right.
Oh man, how are you?
I'm doing good. I gotta be honest with you. I have been literally sitting right here in the same position since about 8:30 this morning.
Oh,
so
really?
I have been going nonstop. I had by the way, to all of our female DJ friends out there, happy International Women's Day. I was actually doing a conference today for International Women's Day. I'll be doing it today and tomorrow. So that was a lot of fun. Virtual conference, helping out with that. Had a good time. And so now here we are.
Yeah, dude.
What have you been up to?
Oh, God. Busy. I met with a couple clients this week, which was great. Getting ready, for the grand opening up north here because things are getting warmer. So tomorrow's the first really warm day above 50s and 60s that we've had in a while. So with that, spring is in the air. Everything's going to start to change almost dramatically for us.
Plus, it's almost baseball season again. So, I mean, there you go, right?
Yeah, and look, with even in time of the coronavirus, with the vaccines they're rolling out and the ease of restrictions, it's going to be a slow creep back to normal, which I'm excited for. I'm looking forward to. I want to go back to the days, as we were discussing in the green room of the DJ Expo, DJ Con in New York City, and NAMM. And if not that, also would they have MBLB, Mobile Beat, Las Vegas. So, and they're just a few of them.
Oh yeah.
So, Vince, welcome aboard, Vince. So, it's always
no, not that one. Look here. Andrew says, "Let me get this money. I'll be back next week."
Look, yeah, always I love seeing our loyal guys in there. So welcome everybody.
I was just going to say, speaking of that, looks like we got a good audience out there with us tonight. Let us know in the comments. Let us know where you're checking in from. Let us know who's watching, because we don't actually see who you are. We just see how many of you there are.
Right.
So we appreciate it when we're able to see exactly who it is. So in the comments, please drop who's checking in so we can give you a shout out. Obviously, thank you for being in the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please be sure to do that. Also, don't forget to connect with us on the other social media outlets like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You'll see right below Greggy C there. You've got our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter handles, and then right above Greggy C there, you'll see that we have the In the Queue podcast Instagram, which we hope you're following, and we will be more than happy to connect with you that way. All right. Here's our good buddy Natural Aura, always checking in, always being so supportive. So thank you for that. All right.
Yeah. Speaking of supporters, welcome, Natural Aura. Good to see you again, sir.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you? What was your week like? I know you're busy, B.
I can't stop. I don't even know. I don't know. If I didn't have a calendar, I'd be in a lot of trouble, just to be honest with you, because it's crazy, but in a good way. Like, I'm happy about it, but I don't know if I'm coming or going. All right, here's my good buddy Mike, by the way, Mike from Houston, right? I love this dude to death. And he was kind of hollering at me last week or so ago about getting some turntablists on here. So we're working on doing that for sure. Yeah, I mean, we are down to talk to any DJ, any entertainer, any performer. We want to hear your story, so reach out to us and let us know, right?
What's that? What is that behind me? What do you think those are?
Looks like a lot of records. Looks like some pretty cool lighting back there.
Above the records, there are two.
Oh, the turntables. I see them now. Okay, my bad. I see them now.
Technically, I am a turntablist, but I look, and what I teach is I teach the basics. You want some other turntablists on here? I'll bring on Cutlass, or I'll bring on Groove, or one of the other. And these are all PV sponsored guys. But we'll find somebody to bring on that'll, that'll give you a little bit of turntablism there. Maybe they could show you some cutting and scratching videos, Dave.
I mean, to be honest with you, the only time I've ever turned tables is the very brief time that I worked in the restaurant industry, where I moved people off of one and then brought some new people on to eat at the next one. So that's kind of my level of turning tables, but I know how to do everything else in this industry. So I got that going for me.
Where seasons 2 sound effects will come in handy. When you do that, Joe, I put it on bump and I'll bring in the sound.
That's right. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. talking to clients today like we selling ice to an Eskimo. Typical Monday. I feel you, Aura. I absolutely feel you. All right, so let's bring our super duper, always helpful. People really like this guy. Let's bring our producer on with us, and let's do a little recap of last week. Gabe, what's up, brother?
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Always looking so smooth, sitting over there, Mr. Chill in front of the weapons of guitar and drums and every other instrument behind him there.
I love that, Gabe.
Yeah.
How are you, Gabe? Doing good?
I'm doing great. Yeah, hell yeah. How you guys doing? How was your week?
Freaking fabulous, man.
Yeah.
Top notch over here.
He's top notch. I was hectic, but it was okay. Look, and hectic is good. We're leaving winter here in the Northeast Philadelphia / New York area, and it's leaving. Like, I still have snow on the ground. Still.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, and not everywhere, but it's patches of snow. It should be gone by tomorrow. Tomorrow's forecast to be in the 60s. So that said, I'm saying, Gabe, I'm waiting for things to come back. Well, actually, Gabe is being blessed. If you checked your email, Gabe, I probably sent you 5 or 6 photo booths, first of all.
Yeah.
So Gabe's filling up really quick. The photo booths are coming off hot. But the other thing,
music reference.
Yeah, the other thing too, Gabe, I didn't check your LinkedIn. You changed your LinkedIn already, and it says producer at In the Q podcast, thinking about PR logs and crazy stuff. Good man. No.
I love it.
Anyway,
love it so much. Hey, you know what? I was just about to kind of dive into, and here he is right here, our guest from last week.
That's what I wanted to
Shane Ryan, right?
Yes.
How are you, Shane Ryan?
I know you and Gabe. You had a nice little chat with Shane.
Oh yeah, I really loved how he integrated like the calypso sound with R&B. His video is fantastic. He used like the Pharrell Barbados, as Greggy coined him. Fantastic producer, all around great guy. Fantastic influences. Can't go wrong with Michael Jackson as an influence. He did so much in the entertainment world. So really excited about tonight's guest as well.
Fun dude. I'm fortunate and blessed to have him a part of our crew here. So very cool.
Very artistic as well, man. The guys, I look, and that's the thing. When you love this and you love the art to it, you can tell, and you can tell with Shane. So keep it up, and God bless Shane. Good man.
Absolutely. We'll have to get him back on the show down the road real soon.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Speaking of Shane, he actually submitted a really cool beat to us that you might hear on season 2. Can you believe we're already almost at season 2? We're more than halfway to season 2 of In the Q podcast, so that's pretty exciting. And I think we might be, unless somebody submits something super cool before then, I think we might be using a song that we got from Shane Ryan for our intro video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but you can still submit. You can still submit because, if we find something else we really like, there's no reason why we couldn't include both of them. We could do that.
We got a couple shout outs. Like, look, if you want to send like a quick couple bites or shout outs too, we could also utilize those. We have a couple of those. I'm going to pick the best ones. We're not going to not really necessarily use them all. They got to be clear, crisp, clean, and professionally done. So we like I said, we got a couple. I'd like to incorporate those within the new video.
So I can't just record one on my iPhone real quick and send it. That won't work.
You're listening to In the Q podcast. So actually professionally done, please. Look, and I like to throw out some education here. We've touched on it before. Are you familiar with Audacity, Dave?
I am.
Okay, Gabe, are you familiar with Audacity?
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic program.
All right. And you know what? I'm going to add that into my questions tonight because it's an important program I like to teach beginner DJs and those that are just looking to step outside their comfort level just a little bit. They might not necessarily be involved or want to be involved in production, but just to show them there's certain tools within Audacity that I can teach, guys and gals.
By the way, production for a minute. Dave, Greggy, do you guys ever use like a Zoom H6 or H4 to record to like an SD card when you're playing just like a long set?
I have not.
I actually have my H4 plugged in right now as a live feed. Hold on, it's the microphone you hear. I'm not using the built-in mic, or I'm not using the audio just yet. Maybe season 2, I'm going to hook up the big board. But right now, I'm using for the audio the Zoom H4 as a live USB mic. But what I would do would be is I had an old Vestax mixer that had 2 independent outputs, not just 1 but 2. So I would take the one output, would go into my amp back in the day that powered my speakers, but the other output came in. It was really an RCA to, I think it's what, an 1/8 inch in, because and I plugged it right into the side. And on the front of the Zoom H4, you can monitor the sound, and it recorded right to WAV file. Done.
Yeah.
I usually just plug my C3PO into my RTD2, and whatever happens happens. So, like that's what's working for me, and I'm cool with it.
Dude, sounds like you're suffering from the newest disease that's out there. Have you heard of it?
Not yet.
It's called OLD.
Oh no.
Do you have OLD?
I think I do.
C3PO. Oh my God. Can you not understand these gadget
He's still thinking about Keith Shockley talking about the green room. He's like, I could do some Star Wars shit in here.
I know, right? I know. Bring back Keith. Bring back Keith.
Oh my goodness.
By the way, Keith stuff is tomorrow night in Twitch. You got to check it out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good. Okay. That's nice. No. Totally.
Absolutely. All right. So I think that's all of our rambling for the beginning of the show here. We got a couple of really cool guests. Nice father and son team. Mm-hmm. Who's reading the bio today? Is it you, Greg, or is it Gabe?
Yeah, no, Gabe, are you ready to, or do you want me to, Gabe?
Shoot.
He's saying you.
All right, Gabe, no problem. I like doing it. I am the professional MC.
Kevin Porter, owner of Elite Entertainment.
Ooh.
He backed into the industry in 1994, working for a friend. He had a gentleman's agreement of 5 years. His friend came to him in 1988 and said he was getting out for him, opened his own company. So he did in November of 98. In 2000, he chose to go full-time, and he has never looked back. He has performed over 1,300 weddings and countless other events. Now growing up in the business, wants to own the company once he gets older. His son, obviously, at the age of 11. You believe that? 11 years old, he's already in the business. Great for him. So they both DJ'd at the UCI BMX World Championships. I'd like to hear more about that later. That was broadcasted all over the world 2 years ago, and he DJ'd another UCI BMX event solo. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
You want to say some more?
Well, hold on. I just to step on your parade a tiny little bit, right? And ladies and gentlemen, now a nice big round of applause for Kevin and Braden. Now hold on. You got to do it, Gabe.
Too late.
Hey guys, how are you? We're just fooling around, man.
What's up, fellas?
We're good. We got a fellow PV guy here. I was talking to him in the green room about that, and it looks like you started something contagious here, Kevin. So, because Gabe's been wanting in forever, and now we're gonna get Dave in too. So
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll get you all. I want to get your SoundClouds out there. So if you don't have a SoundCloud or a Mixcloud, y'all should. Whether you beat mix or not, or you do blends, just have it's like having a Spotify list on steroids, because you can blend out. You know what I'm saying?
So Kevin? It's not the Nubius cloud. It's not one of them other cloud formations.
Mixcloud allows you to put a lot of music up there without paying. SoundCloud,
but does it go with the liner clouds or the Nubius clouds, or what clouds does it go to?
What are you talking Dave's language here?
They're cumulonimbus.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for Greg to catch on to what you were saying. I love that.
We all shut up and ask Braden, because he knows what the hell we're talking about, right, Braden?
Yes. Braden is hip to everything we're talking about. Shout out to Big Earn, by the way. I see you out there, man.
Yes. Good to see all you guys out there returning. So, but yeah, no, look, and that's what it's all about. And Kevin is here with his son. How old are you now, Braden?
15.
You're 15. God bless you, man. Good. And here, look, I'm gonna cut right to the chase, and we can cross this off our list, boys. Braden, why do you do this?
I love the music.
That's it. That's it. I love. Really, you could wait. You love the music, but go ahead. No, really, go ahead.
No, really, I love the music. I love the reactions I get from people when I'm hearing people on the dance floor and they go, "Oh, I'd like to hear this song," and I'm hearing it and I go and play it, and I love the reaction when I hear it.
Okay. All right. You just said love 3 times. That's awesome. That is the number 1 answer on the board. If you ever watch this podcast and all of the interviews that we do, a few of these questions always come up to everybody. And as the guys can see through our outline, I jumped right into it. And I wanted to find out from you, the young guy on the block here who's doing this, why you do this. And look, I could tell your future why you're going to end up doing this into the wee old years like your papa here. So, and here's the other thing I can ask you, Papa, because we're not on a job interview and I'm allowed to ask this. How old are you, Papa?
I will be 50 in April.
Old man.
So I'm the oldest guy here. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you're over 49, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm actually 51 years old. So
No way.
Loving the math. I'm loving all the math and all the references to clouds and Star Wars movies. Man, we're taking this show to new heights. That's all I can tell you.
this is not the cloud you're looking for. Stop. I'm waiting for you, Kevin and Braden. We meet again at last. All right. Anyway.
Greg, I want to do the same thing and just jump right into asking Braden, because he was there twice. It looks like Dad might have been there once, but I want to hear about this UCI BMX event.
Oh yeah, I do want to hear about that.
Can I start and I'll let him finish?
Please, yeah.
So the UCI BMX World Championship was here in 2017, and it's, I mean, you've got 126 countries, 134 countries here racing BMX. Where we live is just south of Charlotte, North Carolina. We happen to live in South Carolina in a little town called Rock Hill. And we have, at the time, we had one of the top 3 BMX championship tracks in the world. So they held the worlds here. And I was contacted through a guy that's in South Africa who works for Red Bull and does all their commentating and all of that. And he said, I need a local DJ, and can you come and DJ every single day, Monday through, we started on Monday and went through Saturday night. And at the age of 12, he ran the board, DJ'd the music for 85-90% of the time. When we went TV live on Saturday is basically when I went live with him, because I had to hear start and somebody was in my ear and those type of things. And that has created a friendship with that gentleman. And he's the announcer for Red Bull, does a lot of stuff for Red Bull, BMX and mountain biking and those type of things. And then fast forward 2 years, he was in town. I said, hey, let's get up and what have you, and chit chat. And during that conversation, he thought that I was the DJ for that event on that was happening, which is called the UCI BMX World. So the Worlds is different than the World's Championship.
Okay. And
I was booked for an event, and because Braden was there 2 years ago and worked with him, I said that I would set Braden up and he could come and do the event. And that was his first solo event. Wow.
How was that pressure on you, Braden?
It was fun. I mean, it wasn't as big as the championships, as it wasn't on live TV, but still, I had people in my ear. I had to pay attention and listen.
Yeah, no, I worked for the Jaguars NFL football team for 12 years and did something similar where you've got a headset on and you got like 10 people talking in the headset at the same time, and you have to decipher which one is talking to you over everybody else. And I can imagine that was a little bit of pressure, but it sounds like you did it well to be able to do it twice.
I did it well.
Good job.
Thank you.
Trial. Look, that's going to happen a lot in this industry. Trial by fire. People are going to come up to you and they're going to say, "Oh, you know, the banquet manager's not here, and you're at a wedding, and whether you've done it or not, look, go through it and fake it." You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you should ask him what was more pressure, the UCI Worlds, or when he was 14 and he did a all girls 14-year-old all 14-year-old birthday party. Pool party, and I said, "Hey, if y'all want to make a request, go talk to Braden." So he had 30 girls around him at one time.
You are the coolest dad in the world.
Man, that might be difficult to answer.
Yeah,
that is the coolest dad.
I could see at your age that'd have to be tough.
If I had to choose, it would probably be the birthday party, because it was like you were saying, David. You have 8 people in your ear. I had 30 girls in my ear requesting songs.
Yeah.
I'm just
going to ask the audience out there, feel free to comment. If you had 30 girls in your ear asking you for songs, how would that be on you? I'm just curious. Audience, feel free to answer. I'm just curious. But young Braden here seems to think it's the move. We should start getting him more jobs like that.
That's the goal.
Oh, man, I love it. Well, Kevin, you and I go back a few years now, man. I don't remember exactly when we met each other, but I know we've known each other off and on for many years, and I've enjoyed getting to know you and your family. And just want to kind of dive a little bit into your story and how you kind of got into the industry and you know, just kind of your reason for doing it, and just share a little bit with the audience a little more about that. I think it's a fascinating story that they're going to love to hear.
Sure. I think we actually met in either 2000 or 99 when we did the name meet and greet, when you and some of the guys came. Rob Peters, that was on a couple of weeks ago, was here. Bruce was here, and Mark Burgess, and I think Rob also came in as well.
Sounds about right.
So, but the way that I got into it, I was never a music lover. I didn't listen to, you asked me a bunch of songs and stuff like that. It wasn't my deal, but I loved to hang out in the clubs, and I met one of the DJs there. I was a roadie and helped him set up several events and all that. And he actually double booked himself in 1994. And to tell you how green I was when he told me that, I said, "So that means you have 2 events?" And he said, "Yeah, I have 2 events, but they're at the same time." And I said, "Wow, well, you must be screwed."
Good luck.
And he said, "Yeah, that's where you come in." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't even own a CD." So in 1994, didn't even own a CD. And he's like, "How in the world do you do that?" And so we talked. I went and helped him set up the private event. He sent me to the club. I agreed to do it. I had never held a microphone in my hand prior to that. And it was a lingerie event where they had girls walking around lingerie. They had to sell raffle tickets, and then I drew numbers. And 50 CDs and a 5-minute instruction is how I got started. And we talked afterwards, and he said, "You know, you can work for me. We'll build this. We have an agreement, gentleman's agreement, for 5 years. And then we will discuss then in 5 years." And 4.5 years later, he came to me and said, "You've made a name for yourself. Everybody knows you in town. I have people that are calling, requesting you, and I'm done. I'm out of it. And so go open up your own company."
Nice.
So that's kind of how I started.
Nice.
Okay. I can't tell you how many people I know that got started that way. You know, they had a friend that was a DJ, and the DJ accidentally or somehow double booked themselves, and then all of a sudden they're calling around. I know that's kind of how I started building my company, is when people started calling. And really it was more so I got to the point where I was turning away too much work And I'm like, this is ridiculous to keep turning away work. I just need to find people that want to do it.
Right.
So I have a question. When you were a roadie, all that experience, what do you look for? And maybe you can tell our, everybody out there, when you're gigging, what kind of cases do you look for? What do you look for in a case when you're gigging?
I'm probably one of the unique guys that looks for a case that holds whatever I'm going to put in it, and it's cables. So if I have a light box, then I have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, whatever it is. But I also have all the extension cords in that. I hear so many guys talk about, I've got this cable box, or I've got to roll these cables up, and I've got to go get this cable box. I don't want to bring this cable box with this small event. And I'm like, okay. And for years, I have always rolled my cords up. And so if I need to do a ceremony, then I grab the speaker, grab the single stand bag and the bag of cables that go with that system. And then my console is that way. My console has a bag with it, and it's there. I don't have to go to the trailer and pull 4 boxes to carry 2 lights. Okay. When I grab that box, it's a light box with the cables in it. And so I learned very early how to roll cables with the quarter turn twist versus going around your elbow. And if my wife was in here, she'd tell you how particular I am, and I will go off when you roll my cords incorrectly.
Over and under, all the way. Yeah.
Look, that's good. No, I'm glad you mentioned that with the cases, or how do you protect your equipment and all that. Look, the man that I am most blown away by, that has the coolest little stand / case to hold his stuff, is David. If you've ever seen David's rig, there's a couple I think there's a couple pictures of it in our startup, right, pal?
Probably.
I'm highly impressed, because not only does he have that cool little, it's like a monolith that holds his controller there. One of our future guests, Gabriel from Pro X Cases, has something similar that also David has been salivating over and loves it. And another one of our future guests, Soho, DJ Soho from the Senate, one of the founders of the Senate DJs on the East Coast. They make something very similar as well. So,
sorry, that was my daughter.
That's all right. You bring her in to join the show. It's all good. You're like, no, we're on a podcast.
Yes,
it's a family affair tonight. We got our dogs with us. We got our kids. It's okay.
Yeah. I got mine barking left and right. And when the thing goes off, I'm like trying to help her and get her Kong and calm her down. So my apologies with that.
Mine's sitting here on my lap, falling asleep on my desk here. So she probably might start snoring. If you hear any snoring, it's not me. I promise. It's the dog.
Okay. All right. That Gabe, really, that was an awesome question, brother.
One more.
Yeah.
Do you guys belong to any record pools? Like, so where you guys live in South Carolina, do you go to any local places, or tell me about how you get your music?
I have been a member of Top Hits USA since probably 98. And so now with their downloads, that's where I go mainly for all of they have anything and everything that I need, from jazz to urban remixes to current stuff that's instrumental to top 40 country, adult contemporary, gospel, you name it. I get it. So it comes in, we download it on a monthly basis, try to do it twice a month. Sometimes we do it more, but it's all radio edited versions. It's constant bit rate and those type of things. And I've been very pleased with their selections and stuff like that. I've tried some other ones in the past, and I just didn't like their format. Top Hit always seemed like it was kind of coincide with a record store. So, and so that's why I've used it. Very easy to deal with.
You're absolutely right. I think it's one of the most, what is the word, eclectic pools out there, because you said it. There's jazz on there, the hotter jazz, the newer smooth jazz that you can put your cocktail. There's rock, if I'm not mistaken, on there, correct?
Yep.
And
you name it, there's everything.
Yeah, they're urban series, or what some people would classify as they have different series. They give you it all right there on the. Well, now it's a download, but back in the day when we had the discs, it was a little bit of everything, and I was so impressed with the way they put together what they did.
Right, and when it was a disc, when they sent you the disc, you only had 2 of the recurrents that you could choose from.
Right,
and so now on the download, then I download everything. Well, it is unlimited now. The
discs also turned into a lot of they put MP3s on them, and then they loaded you with videos. That was the other beautiful thing, especially that once again, they blew me away with their versatility and they had so much going on. So wow, Gabe, another question there. Look at you.
That's why we have them. But among the many reasons why we have them is because of that.
That wasn't even on the show outline. We didn't even go over that in our meeting before. I'm teasing. I kid. I joke.
We're good.
Yeah. No. I have a question. And it's more into what you were discussing with what you wanted to talk about. But before we talk about things like that, you have a coffee, correct?
I do.
Now, does it go along with DJ, or is that just a side hustle, like a thing that we've been doing? I mean, do you incorporate it with music?
I don't. Well, I incorporate it with clients and venues. So,
good call.
I've always wanted to do some kind of gift to clients, something unique and different.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at doing wine for years, but you have white, red. You could easily offend somebody that doesn't drink wine. The economics on buying wine and white labeling it, which white labeling is putting your own logo and all of that on there. You have to purchase 12 cases on a regular basis, like every 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't cost effective. I don't do 144 events in 30 days. And so there's a local company here that roasts the coffee. And so I approached him and I said, how can we partner together? How can we do this? And you as a company, anybody can go in there and create their own flavor. We sat and talked. I'm personally not a coffee drinker, but my wife is.
Okay.
Along with Dave's wife. She actually tried some last week. And it was just one of those things where I said, how often do I have to buy? How much do I have to buy? And so I buy anywhere from a pound at a time to I can do 25, 50 pounds, but I typically do about 10 pounds a time. It's 8-ounce bags. It comes in the whole bean. If you want it to grind, I normally send it to you in a whole bean. That way you can take it to your local roasting deal. It's a light coffee, which I learned a lot about coffee. If you want caffeine and more caffeine, then you drink a light roast versus a dark roast.
Right.
Because as the bean roast, it creates from like a popcorn kernel into a fluffy deal. So it loses its caffeine. Whereas if you do a light roast, then it stays hard like a kernel and you have more caffeine in it because it's compact.
Okay.
And so it's a local business. It's a local partnership. They have actually used my coffee with a local brewery that brewed my beer for another local. They used my coffee in the beer, brewed it for another brewery in town. And so there was 5 local businesses in one collaboration.
Oh, wow. That's
cool. Pretty cool.
So I take the coffee when you sign a contract, then I give you a bag of coffee. 85% of the world drinks coffee. And so when I approach venues, then I walk in and say, hey, here's, let's do business and here's a gift to you. And so it's been overwhelming in a positive direction.
That's great.
All right. Well, look, very interesting, and I have a follower, and we have a listener here, Doc Rob, from DR Events. He does the same thing. He has coffee. I want him to listen to this and pay attention right now to exactly what you said, because I think that's a great move. What a great marketing move. Do you have your company logo on there as well?
It's all white labeled. It is 100%. Let's see if I can show it where
you have Elite though. It says Elite. Good. That's fine. As long as you have your logo on there.
Right. But I also named the name of the coffee is Elite Reserve.
Okay.
So that's great. The name of my coffee.
Oh, very
and
cool.
All of my information is there, and then down at the very bottom is who roasted it. So it's small print. Mine is all white label. When I present this, then it's there. The other unique that's going to hopefully happen this week or this year actually is he will be able to sell my coffee. So every coffee that he sells in his store will have my business card attached to it. So his clients and his customers that enjoy it will also not only get my information with the white label, but also my business card on top of it.
Very cool, dude. I mean, for something I don't think David known or any of these guys really known, I might have told Gabe, but God, from when I was 16, I think through 25, I think about 8-9 years, I was in coffee was a big thing. I'm just like you though. I don't drink it, but I can tell you everything there is to know about coffee and the different blends and, how to keep it fresh. I can also take apart Bunamatic, any Bunamatic commercial unit machines, whether it be one, or the two, 1, 2, or 3 burners, plumbed in or not, I take them apart blindfolded. I could tell you anything and everything that there is to know within the coffee industry. That's why when you discussed it and we talked, in the pre-interview, I was blown away. I said, wow, what a great, cool thing. And that's kind of why I jumped the gun and I wanted to find out about it. And I noticed behind you, and it was funny when Braden grabbed it, I'm like, that's awesome. So, all right.
And
I think we should give some coffee away tonight if you guys want to do that. I'm kind of putting y'all on the spot over there, Kevin and Braden, but if you guys want to give some coffee away tonight, I think we should give away some. Well, there we go.
Yep. I'll send 3 bags out.
All right. Well, there you have it. We're going to give away 3 bags of coffee. So if you haven't done so yet, you see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen there, the number to text your name to. And we're gonna randomly draw 3 names tonight from those who texted in. Kevin said he'll send you a bag of his Elite coffee. Is that right? Is that what it's called? Elite blend, right?
It's Elite Reserve. I'm a bourbon drinker, so that's where the reserve part of it is.
Got it. So Elite Reserve. So if you guys, if you want a chance to win that, the number is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. All you need to do is text your name into the number scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and we will give away 3 bags of that coffee at the end of the show. At the end of the show, we'll be doing that. So, Greg, I'll turn it back over to you. Just want to make that announcement real quick.
Oh yeah, no worries. Hey, well, as we talked about coffee, is this part of what we discussed? Your unique marketing idea or plan, or tell me something about that.
Yeah, that's the main thing is the unique, because nobody else does it. Nobody in the area thinks about it. Okay. And then, as you've mentioned a couple times about being PV, and that came together the last couple of weeks when I actually was on here listening to Rob Peters a couple of weeks ago, and I saw you with your hat on. It triggered me to talk to reach back out to PV. Okay. And things are moving forward with that in a positive direction.
Good.
So now, as of right now, I'm the only endorsed artist DJ in the Charlotte area. So I can 25 years in the business, like I said, 1,300 weddings, countless other events that I have done, working with NASCAR, working with the NFL, with doing charity events and those type of things. And now I can say that I'm the only endorsed DJ in the Charlotte area.
Very cool. No, that's awesome. Maybe look, one day we'll get you up and you'll be DJing next to me in August here in Atlantic City at the DJ Expo, right?
Absolutely.
I'm done showcasing. It's all about.
There you go.
All about DJ BDizzle.
Well then look. See, BDizzle then has a shot at the catalog. So if if you're a really nice guy and you look, you're a good photogenic dude, so get your Photoshop and your modeling skills ready. They'll put you on the cover there for their DJ magazine. But look, I love this unique marketing plan and the idea. We have been discussing on this show about side hustles and things to do, like that. So I just think bravo to you in taking something that could be a side hustle, but yet weaving it right into your business plan.
And that leads us into my exit strategy. At 50, he wants to take over the company. And so I've planned 10 to 15 years from now to allow him to have the DJ business. Because by the time I'm 60, 65, I will have done everything that I've wanted to do or could do. Mm-hmm. And so in 2019, in September of 2019, I decided to open up a travel industry or travel agency. So not only can I DJ your wedding, but I can also book your honeymoon. I can book your next family adventure. And I can start building that way in 10 to 15 years. I still have my income coming in, and he can swiftly take over the DJ business. 95% of the brides book their honeymoons before they book their DJs. So once again, I'll be first there and passing it on. Here's what we can do as a collaboration. So that's all the uniqueness. That's where my viewpoint and my thinking comes from. Mm-hmm. To me, it's not about the music. I want to take people out of their everyday stress, out of their everyday life, everything that they worry about, and for the next 4 hours, enjoy that moment that they are in and celebrating. And so I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes to try to make that happen. I come from it on a view of how can I provide the best Southern hospitality customer service I can, versus, hey, I'm the DJ and I'm going to spin and mix and wow you by that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hold your hand without holding your hand at the event that I'm at.
Look, that's the perfect strategy. You got to kill them with customer service, sir.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned one of our board members for name. His name is Mark Burgess. You met Mark?
Mark Mark got me into the travel industry several years ago.
If you don't know him and speak with him now, we should get you in touch with him, because he is the perfect guy to talk to about this, because he's doing the same thing that you do and is very, very simple.
And as well as Mark, I was going to actually work for Mark when I was going to put my company underneath him. Mm-hmm. But knowing his personal life and what's happened the last few years, mm-hmm. he respectfully called me and said, "You are too good of a friend, and I don't have the time and the energy to that you need to get started. It's going to benefit you if you open up your own business, but I'm here for you." Mark and I have talked more in the last 2 years than we've talked in 10 years. So I own and respect a lot of that gratitude towards Mark.
Good,
without a doubt.
He's a good guy. I pounded the wrong. That's in my heart. I think it is. I don't know, but no, he is a great guy. So Gabe, you got anything for him? Gabe can't even. Gabe, can you even hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? No, I'm thinking how fantastic this is. This stuff you have.
Look, no, I like the side hustle, and the exit. The exit plan is a great thing, and I think I'm going to add that as one of my questions to a lot of these. If we have DJs or people that have their own company, I love that idea of discussing that with others, and I love how you brought that up. So look,
because how often? You look at you. What are you going to do in 10 years? Do you have a plan? Where is it taking you? So now, I can take through the next 10 to 15 years. Prime example, I opened it up in September of 2019. In March of 2018, the two businesses that I'm in crashed because of COVID. Mm-hmm. Nobody's traveling. Nobody's doing events. Mm-hmm. So now what do? So I spent 2020 educating myself on the travel industry, honing his skills, telling him, to learn how to mix and come up with your own uniqueness. And then that way, I can start building. I've had a couple of clients that have found me through Facebook on some of my travel stuff. I booked a getaway for a couple in the end of December. And so now that has allowed me for the next 10 to 15 years to build that clientele. When I hand off the DJ clientele for him, he's going to be in the face because he's at every event. He's on the controls. I MC now and I do all the coordinating, but I don't have to worry about, running over here and doing a wedding and doing the music for the ceremony and directing.
What kind of equipment do you bring out to gigs?
You name it. I have 2 controllers. I use one Denon. I've got both Denon MC 4000s. So I use that for the ceremony, use that for the main deal. I've got a set of powered PVXP 12s. I've got a powered PVX 10 for the ceremony. So I'm one of the last ones to go powered speakers because I loved my CS 4000 or 1400 PV amp. I've got a set of PV 15s when I do pool parties and stuff like that. I don't want to get the powered speakers, so I still use passive for those. And so, when I book my deal, I talk to my clients from a service point. I don't talk about what equipment I'm bringing. I view it as when you go and do an oil change, the mechanic charges you for an oil change, I
meant more or less like old school Technique style 1200s. So you're bringing out like controllers or that I guess that's
I'm doing I'm doing a controller and computers, but I don't mix. I don't beat mix. Now I can blend and I can throw a party, and that's what works for me. I love the talent of beat mixing. I knew a guy that could throw 17 albums at you and mix and scratch and put one behind his head and all of that sort of stuff. And that's a great talent, and I absolutely love it. But that's not me. I want to be out in the crowd. I want to be involved, and that's kind of where I've done that. I can put 2 songs. I can put a set together, and that's my style.
So down in South Carolina, what genres are more popular? Like country, or are they doing more like EDM, or are people more doing like pop, hip hop? What's real popular down there?
Mainly it's all top 40.
Okay.
We also here in the Carolinas, we have what's called shag music, which if you're not part of the Carolinas, you have no idea what shag is. It's a slow 2-step. And so beach music I play beach music at every event practically that I do.
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach. Yeah. Right. You do a lot of gigs in Myrtle Beach. Speaking of shag music and.
I do service that area. It's about 3.5 hours away for me.
Okay.
And so I cover the entire state of South Carolina. So I go Greenville, Columbia, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, Hilton Head. I also go up to the Virginia border, and I also go to the Tennessee, North Carolina border in Asheville, and Boone area and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys, I got a quick question here that came in from our audience out there. Sorry, I'm getting asked a question about something going on with the show. Sorry about that. So Braden, Shane says, how was it growing up within the DJ industry?
So just like my dad was talking about, he started, and ever since I was a baby, he would roll me in and come and set up. And then I got to growing up, and I would go, where does this plug into? Where does that plug into? Then I wanted to run around with the microphone. And then fast forward, we were at Carowinds, a corporate family event business of ours, and I asked, can I stay? Because my dad went, well, it's family, it's not really big, so sure, you can stay. So that's how I kind of watched and got to learn how to DJ and how this works, how you do things, and just learn from there.
Love it. I love it. And so we got another question from Vince who says, Braden, what do you think you would say is your specialty and what sets you apart from other DJs in your area?
Good question, Vince.
My specialty is I'm 15 and younger, and I know the younger music. So when I get requests and they don't know what they're talking about because they're drunk, then I might be able to figure out what they're trying to listen to. Or when I'm doing a kids event, then I can figure out what music they want.
Well, if you're figuring all that out with drunk people, you're doing better than all of us are for sure. Because most of us over 30 have no clue what drunk people are saying half the time.
Look,
Exactly.
keep selling, dude. Keep selling your youth, Braden.
Yes, sir.
Look, you have to, in this industry, you have to market every use everything as an edge. You know, you have right now you have youth as an edge. We can't use that as an edge anymore. So what we do is, you know, and I take it from an old boss in the industry. He used to say, we give the illusion to do this. We give the illusion to do that. And you know what? At first I'm like, I don't know if I like that idea. You know, it's almost being shady, but technically, really, it's being able to sell yourself and present yourself correctly.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're not lying. You're not doing anything. What you're doing is you're focusing in. And like I said, you know, tell them exactly what you just said. You know, yeah, I'm young and I know I follow all the younger music. You know, especially for heck, man, you probably have, you know, the teen market and all the school dances. You can lock them up, dude. I mean, and that's I work with young DJs. You know, we have what's called the Kids Cafe. We have a young DJs that start at 5-6 years old. You know, you said you did your first event at 11. You know, I did the same thing with my daughter. She's not a DJ. She didn't want to be, but she was bored at a family wedding, and I felt bad for her. I said, "You want to help out? I need some help so I can go hang out with the family." And she loved it. You know, and then all the other kids were looking at her like, "Oh, she knows." But it was simple. It was, you know, red means go, or red means stop, and green means go. That's it. Here, pick my songs from my playlist. Instead of putting it on autoplay, I let her do it, and it was the cool thing. So, Gabe,
yeah,
or Dave, any, I don't want to monopolize this because I'm in like all with you guys. I love the father and son team.
No, I think it's great.
Appreciate
You know, and I'm still thinking, you know, from Braden's standpoint, he had all the chicks hanging around with him. He knows what he's doing. You know, he's got it going on. So he's all good. Vince said, how old is Braden? Braden, you're 15, right? 15 age, right?
15 years old. All right.
Okay. All right. And we got another comment here. Believe it or not, I'm from Pakistan, and it's sad. Drunk people with drugs would sometimes threaten our DJs if they don't play their tracks. A couple of them would end up getting shot. Well, that's
Wow.
Well, look.
We had a fight he's had to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have fights. We all have fights to deal with. Like, you know, your battle with melanoma, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah,
And,
tell us about that, please.
You know, that was a why. I was 45 years old.
All right.
I was healthy. There was and Dave, I don't know if you know who this guy is or not. We called him Gadget Man down in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a hernia that he had for 25 years. Finally went on Obamacare and had surgery. In 48 hours, he died.
Mm.
And so we went down for the memorial, hung out with some of the Atlanta DJs down there that I'm good friends with. And I came home and I found a lump in my leg and didn't know what it was. I went to urgent care. I was sick one day and I called my wife and said, I've got to go to urgent care. What do I need to do? Or you need to come home and watch the kids. And so I was diagnosed, told him, he said, well, you're being sick because of probably food poisoning, and the lump in your thigh is a fatty tumor, nothing to worry about. He says, if it grows and gets uncomfortable, then go get it cut out, and it's out of surgery. It's no big deal. That was in April of 2017. So in November of 2017, I decided, okay, let me go. Told my wife, I said, I'm going to go see what do I need to do to get this cut out. We'll do surgery in January or February during my downtime. Kind of smart, pay one deductible and what have you. And so I very casually went in, just thinking that it was a fatty tumor. And in about 45 minutes, I was told that's not a fatty tumor and I don't know what it is. And we need to do a biopsy.
Oh, wow.
And we did a biopsy the Tuesday before Thanksgiving that year, which he's a Thanksgiving baby. It was stained 3 times to confirm that it was melanoma. I was, like I said, I'm 45 years old. I don't go to the doctor. I don't get sick. And so I was like, okay, what do I do now? And so I talked with Paul, a good friend of mine who's in Atlanta, who knew a good oncologist down in Greenville. And he and I called, talked, and what have you. And he told me, he said, you need to go and see the oncologist in Charlotte. And so in January of 17, that was all in 16. And 17, did surgery in January, did immunotherapy starting in March, went through immunotherapy, and now I go see him in April, and hopefully that'll be my last PET scan. But I became cancer-free in December of 18, or in 17, and stopped treatment in April of 18. So, and that's my why. I mean, it changed my whole outlook on life. There was things that, oh, who cares about this? Who cares about that? But then when you start, thinking about family, who I could have left behind at the time, Braden was 17. He was 12 years old. I've got a daughter that was born in 2010, and, my wife, my dad, battled melanoma several years ago. He had surgery, and you just think about, melanoma is just something it's skin cancer, and they cut it out and you go on your merry way and they do a skin graft, and it's not that way. It's, there's 9,700 people that die from melanoma every year. I learned more about melanoma in 3 months than I ever thought about doing. I got mad at myself because when my dad said that he was going into surgery, it just seemed like it was a simple, easy surgery. But he could have been where I was at. He could have done radiation. He could have done chemo if it got into your lymph nodes and stuff like that. That's the surgery I had, was a dissection of lymph nodes. So it changed my mind. It changed my thoughts of, okay, how do I do this? Even when we got married, we had, although I planned the wedding and we had, everything quote unquote in line, but my wife went to make a payment on her dress, and the store just packed up and left. And there she sat in the parking lot, mad and scared and going, they've got half of my money and I don't have a dress, and what am I going to do? And this was the dress I wanted. And through those life experiences, that's why my clients, I tell my clients, you don't worry about a single thing. I will do whatever it takes, whatever it needs to make sure that you don't worry about a single thing. I have literally left where the ceremony was downstairs outside. The groom left the marriage license at his home. And in 45 minutes, I drove to his home, picked up his marriage license, and came back. And he entrusted me with his keys to his apartment. I was set up, ready to go. I wasn't doing anything with the ceremony. Thankfully, I was the only one that could. A lot of DJs would have just kind of went, oh, that ain't me. I'm not, I have nothing to do with it. But because I heard the story and I was hearing the talk, hey, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to take care of that because I want your day to be flawless. And so through those, like, the battle of melanoma, having kids and viewing it and taking it serious. When I first got into this and was working in the first 2 years when I had a day job, it was kind of like, hey, I own a DJ company and I'm going to be on the golf course if my phone doesn't ring by 10 o'clock. And then you get married and you start talking about things. And now, do I want to be a DJ or do I want to be a business owner that owns a DJ company? And I think a lot of that has to do with the customer service point of it and how I want to take care of providing service for my customers and use my music and my ability to blend to create an experience that you want and expect. And it's not about, and so I think it helps me sometimes when I'm not a music lover.
Well, I think you bring a good point up about, making the effort to do that for that groom. And even though you say, a lot of DJs maybe wouldn't do that, hopefully hearing that story will encourage people to think twice about it and maybe decide that, hey, I can pitch in, I can help out. And, I think that's a lot of what we're about on this show, which is, looking at things sometimes through a different lens and realizing that with a little extra effort, sure, it was something you didn't expect to do, but if you're in a position where you're the person that can get it done, then that's pretty nice and pretty cool that you did that. So hopefully people definitely can gather something positive from that for sure.
Exactly.
Awesome. No, that's
all right,
awesome.
you guys. Well, we are just about at the end of the show, and we are about to get ready to give these 3 bags of the Elite Reserve away here in just about 30 seconds here. So if you haven't texted your name in to the number scrolling across our screen, if you're a coffee drinker and you want to win one of these bags of coffee that Kevin and Braden have been so kind as to donate for us to give away tonight, now's the time to do it. Text your name in to the number scrolling across the screen, and 3 of our viewers tonight are going to have that coffee sent to them so you can try it. It's good stuff. I'm not a coffee drinker, but it smells good. I have smelt it. I have not drank it, but I have smelt it. So I love it. Vince says, here is being wedding serious. I have only missed 2 referral weddings in over 2,500 events. That's amazing. Amazing. Yep. It's all about being a part of what's going on. Shane's talking about Braden again. 30 girls. Braden is the man. I love it. Yep. All right. Well, this is what's cool about the show. Kevin is known for doing cool, great things and going above the board for his grooms, and Braden is known about being around 30 girls. So what do? It's all good.
Right? Exactly.
It's all good. I love it. All right. So Greg, you got anything you want to add before we give this coffee away and wrap the show up?
Look, no, bravo to both of you guys, man. I love it. I love it when there's a father and son team. I've managed DJs for a good part of 25 years, along with Mr. Vince there, who's been commenting and following the show. But the one thing that we had a few times that was always, it was always in the blood, but it was always a pleasure, is a father and son team or a mother and son team or a mother-daughter team. It was or a father and daughter team. We've had a combination of them all, and everyone that I've had and met, there was always something special about them, their relationship. So bravo to you guys, and yeah, Braden, you're a lucky dude, man, and you have like the coolest dad in the world. So yeah, bro, yeah, cool, and Kevin, cool dad, yes.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for having us. I like this. Earlier on, Dave and I, we've known each other. We've had some. We don't talk that often, but it's been a pleasure. So thank you for the invite. Thank you for having us on. Gabe would love to talk to you more about what you do and stuff like that in the Philly area. DJ Greggy, we're going to be talking about PB and stuff like that and get me hooked up on all of that sort of stuff. So.
I wish you guys plenty of health and success.
And to your point, Kevin, that's one thing I've really been talking to a lot of my friends that we do chat probably less frequently than we'd like to. And, for those of us that are getting up there in age, I mean, at the end of the day, you never know. Life is not ever guaranteed. So I think it's super important for us all to remember that and to continue to keep reaching out to each other. And hey, I know people are busy. I know things are going on and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, you still have to keep those people that are close to you as close to your heart as possible. And make sure that you can love on them, even if it's just a quick text to say, hey, just thinking about you. I hope you're having a good day. So I know me and Greg do that a lot. And so that's something that I'm really trying to make a big commitment to doing more of this year with my friends around the country. So
awesome. Would love to do that. Yep.
Encourage that. Well, Braden, man, thank you for joining us too, bro. Good to have you.
Thank you.
I think you've got a bright future ahead of yourself. And you know what? If you're ever doing that BMX thing again, let me know, because I might want to come up. You guys are not too far away from me. I might want to come up and see what we can do there.
Love to have you.
All right. Well,
Great.
It is time.
I just want
to
to mention.
go ahead.
Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, Gabe. Go ahead.
No, it's your giveaway. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. We'll do the giveaway and then we'll let you drop that in there. All right. So I have randomly selected our 3 winners. We had 8 people submit, and 3 winners are as follows. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to put a little bit of the onus on you. This is Kevin's Instagram account. Okay, this is Kevin's Instagram account. So reach out to Kevin. If you are one of our winners, please reach out to Kevin with your mailing address, right, Kevin? That's what they'll need, obviously, for that.
Yes.
All right.
Unlike
so
DJ Greg gave me his email address.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We cannot send coffee via email. It has to be in the actual mail. So if you are one of our winners tonight, I am showing you the Instagram link to reach out to Kevin and send him your mailing address. So don't be reaching out to us saying, hey, where's my coffee? Because if you don't let him know, we're just going to have him send it to us, and either we're going to drink it or we're going to give it to somebody who wants to drink it. All right. I'm just kidding, but we'll make sure you get it. All right. So the winners tonight, Mike Morales. Mike Morales is one of our winners tonight. Mike, you have won some Elite Reserve coffee. Vince is another one of our winners tonight. Vince is a winner of the Elite Reserve coffee. And hey, maybe it's just being on the show luck, but Shane Ryan also is a winner of the Elite Reserve coffee. So those are the 3 names that we were selected from texting in their names. And so we are going to make sure that all 3 of them get the coffee. So reminder to all 3 of you, Vince, Shane, and Mike, if you want your coffee, please take down Kevin's Instagram account. You'll see it right there. Please take down his Instagram account, and we will get that to you. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Greg. And Greg, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Well, once again, thank you guys. Thank you so much again. So, and we look forward to speaking with you in the future. Anybody that, if you want to be on the show, you have any show ideas, please email us at hello@inthequeupodcast.com. Once again, the email is hello@inthequeupodcast.com. Don't forget, please follow us, whatever medium it's on, whether it's Facebook or it's on YouTube. Once again, it's In the Q Podcast on Facebook and YouTube. Same thing for our Instagram account as well. Like what we have, please write some comments, even if it's post show, and make sure you follow us, because you'll get texted and you'll get up to date, reminders of our show and when it's going to be on. But most importantly here, share the show as much as you can. We need supporters. The guys that are in here, we see Vince every week. We see DJ Natural Aura every week. We see Big Earn every week. We see Andrew every week. Please, guys, help us out a little bit. Share them with some of the cooler groups that you're a part of, because I know you're all part of different music groups, and you can really, really help us out by helping spread the word within the queue. And I think probably we're going to work on something, and we're going to talk about it in one of our meetings for season 2. Mm-hmm. I think what we're going to do, because Gabe popped it in and he mentioned it, but it's going to be more of, if you help promote the show, we're going to pick you out of the group, and we're going to find out, the person with the most shares. And if you help promote that show, and you're going to just win something right off the bat, if we look at our analytics and we find out, who's really spreading the word there. So
I love that.
By the way, next week, the 15th, we have Senate DJs on. And the week following, we have Gabriel from Pro X, who does the part of the cases and staging.
Oh, I am going to be cornering Gabriel. It's on. It's on. I will definitely be telling him to get on with us like an hour early so I can grill him before we get on the show.
And there's one more thing, and I mention it every once in a while. It's one of the VPs of Glowtronics. It's glowtronics.store.com. They have, and they do it for the school. And it's D as in DJ, all that. ES. So DJ Entertainment School. Those letters, DJES 15 will get you 15% off any products at the Glowtronics store. And really, what they have is they have some nice, really masks that you can make yourself. Only $10. I thought I had a sample here. I do not. My bad. Sorry, Glowtronics. But they also have tapestries that you can get. And if you're a turntablist, they have the turntable. Actually, the mat is over my right shoulder, right there, above my one turntable. There's their specialty mats. And they're really at nice prices. So if you go there, Glowtronics, or it's called glowtronics.store.com, or Google Glowtronics, you'll see what I mean. DJES15 will get you 15% off. And you look, they're friends of In the Queue, and I know they watch our podcast. That's also on the Apple podcast store, Google Play, Spotify, and a couple more that Spotify and Apple own. So did I miss anything?
pretty much anywhere you listen to a podcast, you should be able to catch the show if you want to listen to the audio version and not look at Greg's amazing face and Gabriel's typically blinged out outfit. Although tonight he's not wearing anything blinged out, so we'll have to just excuse him for that. So, all right. So I think that's it. Just a reminder, one more time to you guys. If you are a winner tonight, so Vince, Mike Morales, and Shane Ryan, don't forget to reach out to Kevin and send him your mailing information so they can send you out the coffee. If you want to reach out to Braden, you can reach him at DJ BDizzle19. DJ BDizzle19. Reach out to Braden, show him some love. Let him know how much you appreciated him being on the show as much as we did. And with that, we are going to call it a night. Kevin, Braden, thank you guys so much for joining us. And we hope you guys will join us on the show again in the future.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
All right. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks again.
Peace.